Hey you guys, how's it going? I am Gary, or the Sheepish Showman here, and welcome back to another video, being another Pokemon thing video. And this is kind of a follow-up to my top 5 favorite Pokégirls video that I just did not too long ago. Like I said in that video, I initially was going to make it a top 6 list where Bonnie would have had a spot on that list and claim the number 4 position, but I decided to scrap Bonnie altogether at the last minute in order to talk about the main female protagonist of Pokemon, to cut down time. Even though that video wound up being a little over 20 minutes. But anyway, I felt like I should make a video talking about Bonnie and giving her credit where credit is due, explaining why she would have had the spot she had in that video, and the criteria I'm going to judge Bonnie by will be the same as I did the other lovely ladies I did on that list who travel with Ash. So I'll be taking into consideration Bonnie's goals, and how she strives in working on and achieving her goals, her overall character and development, and her dynamic with Ash. So, let's do this, shall we? Bonnie, the youngest female protagonist of the Pokemon anime, Clemont's younger sister who began tagging along with her brother to accompany Ash throughout the Kalos region. Now, Bonnie, unlike the other girls, doesn't per se have any truly specific goals, like May or Donna becoming a top coordinator, or Serena becoming a top performer. Bonnie doesn't really have any goals other than to be a great Pokemon trainer, since she isn't old enough to be one just yet. For some reason, she's not old enough to be a trainer, when I'm pretty sure I've seen other kids around her age who have Pokemon of their own and are trainers, but I guess that's Pokemon logic for you. However, despite not being able to be a trainer, it doesn't mean she can't prepare for that lifestyle, since her main role in the group is to more or less be the caretaker of the group, and extending that role to other Pokemon she meets in general, taking care of her brother Serena almost entirely by herself, being able to take care of the entire XY gang's Pokemon by herself, whenever they aren't doing so, or bonding with Pokemon she meets along the way. Best examples I can think of being Flabébé, Tyrantrum, a Phantom, an Esper, a Lapras, and of course, motherfucking Zygarde itself, who she's so close to that she could even stop it from rampaging in Lumiose City when under control of Team Flare. This girl is gonna go far when she's old enough to be a trainer, I can tell already. Bonnie, however, despite not having any concrete goals aside from the basics, has actually been through quite a bit of development throughout the XY series. I actually find episodes that focus on Bonnie to be the second best episodes of the series, after episodes that focus on Serena. Usually in episodes that center around Bonnie, they usually tend to be more emotional, and actually a tad bit relatable. Generally in episodes that focus on Bonnie, it'll show her being able to step up and take charge with actions revolving around Pokemon of the day, Pokemon of the XY group, and bonding with really almost every Pokemon she comes across and wanting to keep them, and will ask her brother to catch it for her so she can take care of it until she's old enough to become a trainer herself. However, upon seeing that said Pokemon have an owner, she is able to mature enough to accept that she can't keep them and has to let them go, which is generally a heartbreaking thing to see. Best examples I can think of being Tyrantrum, Flabébé, and most recently with Zygarde. I find it relatable because I feel like that's something that all of us have been through. When we were kids, despite not being able to keep a monster that can do all sorts of insane things, I do feel like at one point in time we all did come across an animal that we wanted to keep as a pet, whether it be a dog, a cat, a rabbit, a wild hedgehog. It is something that we all wanted to keep as a pet and take care of it, only to find out that we couldn't because our parents generally said no, or because said pet actually had an owner itself. It is something I feel like some people could relate to. Outside of episodes that focus on Bonnie, we can see that she will act like the 7-year-old child that she is, which is something that I actually find to be really charming, in fact. I do think it is nice to see someone actually act their own age in Pokemon, and we see that with Bonnie, who gets easily tired, pout, and upset to the point where she'll cry, and play with the group's Pokemon as if they were pets. Not to mention her dressing up as a ninja, pretending to be one, is probably the cutest thing I have ever seen in Pokemon. And don't get me started on her various costumes that are designed after other Pokemon. That is really just beyond adorable. Now, moving on to the relationship of Bonnie and Ash, which is something I probably will say is the weakest of all the Pokégirls to date. Bonnie and Ash don't really interact with each other that much, compared to they do with Serena and Clemont. But despite that, it is clear that Bonnie does like Ash, and she is comfortable around him and does look up to him just the same as Serena and Clemont do, and holds him in high regard. And Ash in turn does treat her as if she was his own younger sister of sorts, just not to the same degree as Serena or her actual brother, who has more of a simply like bond with Ash. Ash is more gentle with Bonnie at times than Clemont, and does have times where he'll be the one to assure her when everything is wrong whenever she's freaking out, and will go as far as protect her himself if he has to. as well as to leave Pikachu and the rest of his Pokemon in her care if he doesn't ask Serena to do so. Overall for me, Bonnie's a truly fun character, from her childish antics, to her trolling, to her own episodes that make me like her even more, and how she can be mature and serious when the time calls for it. And how she's apparently mature enough to see that Serena is head over heels for Ash. I mean, come on now, Ash. I won't say anything about Miette, Shauna, Nene, maybe Alexa and Team Rocket, but I don't know what's worse. The fact that this 7-year-old little girl can see how much Serena likes you, or the fact that your own Pikachu can see it and approves of her. Also, to mention, her Brock-esque running gag of trying to find her brother a wife is both hilarious and adorable.
Stronger.
Gina, excuse me?
Oh.
Huh? I need you to take care of my brother.
Bonnie, I told you to stop this 1,000,000 times!
I hope you think about it, please!
Ignore her! This is so embarrassing!
Truth be told, I'll venture to say that this is funnier than when Brock himself actually did something like this. Anyway, Bonnie is just a delight to watch and just add to the many things that made the XY series as good as it was. That's it for this video, you guys. I'm Gary, or the Shape-ish 31 Clearwing Synchro Dragon. Stay gold, everyone.